Three competitions were decided on Championship Sunday in Indianapolis. Joaquin Niemann took the individual title fight to the final holes of the season, but Jon Rahm stormed to the top of the tournament leaderboard and cemented himself as our repeat. He is the LIV Golf 2025 individual champion. He was no match for Sebastian Muñoz, who held his nerve in a playoff for the Indy titles. Some players fought for relegation. Others slipped away, and we're here to talk about it all. Welcome to the Club 54 post-round show. So much to discuss. 54 players, 13 teams, and only one champion. Here's Sebastian Muñoz securing his title this season at LIV Golf Indianapolis, edging out Jon Rahm in an incredible playoff matchup here. Unbelievable final round, and here is the celebration for Sebastian Muñoz. But only one individual champion remains at the top of the list, and that is Jon Rahm. A season of drama, rivalries, and history has reached its end, and that is a close. Jon Rahm is our individual champion. Joining us to talk about it are two best friends of mine, Suan Hang and Jerry Foltz. Welcome to the show. We just watched, this is what I love about LIV Golf the most. I'm on the edge of my seat. The fans are watching. So many storylines happening to the very, very last shot. What a day. I mean, what do you guys think after coming out of that?
We got to see the glory. The fans got to see all the glory that happens with an individual win and a season-long championship for Jon Rahm. Suan got to witness the other side of it, the dark side of the day, and that was Henrik Stenson getting relegated. That had to be heartbreaking.
Oh, absolutely. Every single moment, it was just, it was sad. And you can feel his pain, you know, it was palpable. The tension throughout the entire day was palpable, and it came right down to the wire. Yeah. I mean, he never stopped fighting, and hey, it's part of the sport.
It was part of the sport, but what a day for Jon Rahm. I mean, arguably the worst break of his entire career on the 18th hole in the playoff. Hits a shot he thinks is perfect. Told Adam he thought it might be going in. Hits the flagstick after the first top. It would have been stone dead had it not hit the flagstick. He ends up making par and losing. And that hurts him a little bit because he went winless the entire season. He was a league champion, but that doesn't sit well with him.
Jon Rahm had his back against the wall. He started today with Joaquin Niemann having an 86% chance of winning the title. I believe he had a 13% chance as he started the day. Those numbers started to change as this day progressed forward. But let's just talk about Jon's week in general. It didn't look like he was going to get the job done as we started the week out.
Well, I followed him in yesterday, and it didn't, you know, the way he was playing, he didn't have his best on day two, and he knew it. But he also knew coming into today, all he could do was to go low. That's all he was focused on. He wasn't focused on anything else. He said, I'm not going to bother about what Joaquin was doing, but I'm sure that changed throughout the day today. But I tell you what, he brought his A game today, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did. I mean, you start 5 back of Sebastian Muñoz and Dustin Johnson. You have a lot of respect for both of those guys, quite a few guys to pass. He goes out and shoots 60. He shoots 60 today. I mean, how do you feel if you're Sebastian Muñoz and you have to get into a playoff after having a 4-shot lead over everybody else except DJ, 5 shots over Rahm, you go out and shoot 66, and you have to win it in a playoff. What a day. What a day.
And shooting 6 under, too.
Exactly.
Right. It was so much fun to watch the battle between Jon Rahm and Joaquin Niemann. Let's take a look at some of the big highlights from our Championship Sunday final round. This is Jon Rahm versus Joaquin Niemann. All right, take a look here. Now, Jerry, let's talk about it as these highlights pop up here. Joaquin Niemann, I mean, what an incredible season he's had. A lot of pressure for Waco today.
Yeah, and, you know, he had to leave the door a little cracked for Jon Rahm to be able to march through it. Jon was going to play great today. We all knew it. It's almost a guarantee. But then he goes up after that bad wedge shot. He misses the short putt at 6, and that's when you thought, you know, this could actually happen if Rahm finishes in the top couple 2 or 3. Then he bounces back and eagle 7.
Yeah.
Here's Jon Rahm.
And this is Rambo on the 7th, missing his eagle. What was the percentage at this point for Rambo?
About the turn.
Wasn't it like 50%?
After that, 49% for Rahm after that birdie at 9. And Niemann making bogey at 9. That helped Rahm's cause quite a bit.
And then this is his birdie on the 10th.
This was a big bender on the party hole for Niemann. Down the slope, very tricky putt. He needed that so bad at the time.
I could hear that from a mile away, by the way. It was so loud. And then this one on the 12th, just, needed a little bit more speed on that line, but
it does not get any closer than that.
This was probably the biggest putt of the day for Rahm. The eagle at 13 when it didn't look like he was going to have a chance to get in the top 2 or 3, and that helped that cause immensely.
What an incredible display of golf from our champion, Jon Rahm.
And how about this one? Oh boy. I didn't get to see this. This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Dumped it short. Then he just goosed this one a little too hard off that downhill lie, downhill shot. Rolls past a good 10 feet. Even a little more than that. This, at the time, if he misses this, I think the individual championship was settled on this hole. Still some golf to play, you never know. This was huge, momentum-wise, as much as anything. Great save for bogey.
Yeah, that left side of that green is a no-go. Now this is Niemann on the 15th, his second. Spins it right back. Judged it perfectly.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do better.
That was basically the whole season for Rambo, isn't it?
Yeah, this is near perfection right here. Spins it back. It looks like it's going in almost the entire time. Just screeches on the brakes a hair short. I love watching these with you for the first time. Then Niemann, that shot got him a couple times today, at 9 off the tee and then there at 17. But he hit a great shot from there and ended up right in front of the green in 2. And then Rahm at 18. This, at the time, for birdie would give him a 2-shot lead because Muñoz was still playing the 17th and he was left not on the green in 2. That gives him a 2-shot lead. It looks like it's over at that point. You could tell by his reaction. Yelling, Adam Hayes is yelling at him, "Come on, Rambo, let's go, Rambo."
So much fun to watch these two battle it out. A roller coaster of a week between Jon Rahm and Joaquin Niemann. Just talking about Jon's season first. You know, looking back to last year, the storylines are somewhat similar. What would you say was a little different about Jon's season this year?
No, I thought they were identical. The only difference was Jon didn't get to win. I mean, Waco led wire to wire essentially last season, except when Dustin Johnson won Vegas. He led wire to wire till the last event. He hasn't led wire to wire this year, but pretty much the entire meaningful part, the last 2/3 of the season, he has led the individual points race. He didn't get it done yet again. That hurts. It hurts. Granted, the booby prize for finishing second's pretty darn nice. It's really nice. But to call yourself a league champion against this level of competition is something that, you know, it might not mean a lot to the casual fan right now because we're still in our infancy, but in years to come, that is going to be something you can hang your hat on very proudly, and it would have meant a lot to Waco.
Yeah, and I think Rambo had a very similar season both years. I mean, the only time is he finished outside top 10 ones this year. Shocking for him.
11.
11,
yeah. 11th, yeah.
Top 11 in Dallas, I believe it was. But I think the difference is Waco. I think last year, Waco had a bit more of a consistent season versus this year. When he didn't win, he was not playing very well. So I think that's the biggest difference this year.
Yeah.
Well, this just in, Annabelle Angel is with Adam Hayes. That's Jon Rahm's caddy. Live right now. Annabelle, over to you two.
Adam, we've just seen Jon collect his trophy for the individual win for the season. He's had his celebratory milk of all things. Right. You've had some. How proud are you of your man?
Yeah, I'm very proud of him. You know, this year was, obviously not winning was tough, but I just love the consistency, you know, and he shows up every week, works hard, and just the, you know, week in and week out, it's, you know, consistency is what matters. And, you know, we're playing against great competition, and each week, you know, guys, you know, when you've kind of put yourself at that level that Jon has, guys you got a target on your back and they're shooting for you every week. And, you know, it's kind of feel a little bit what's happened this year. Had some close calls, but, you know, when you're playing against one of the best, it drives guys to play better, and Sebastian showed that again today. So,
well, you guys put in a lot of work today to get into that playoff.
Yes.
Very unlucky second shot hitting the pin.
That was very unlucky, yeah. I mean, that was going to be, you know, it's hard to say where it was going to end up, but I'd have been hard-pressed to think it would have been outside of 3 feet. It was perfect, very similar to the shot he hit in regulation. This one landed a little shorter because it was a different yardage. We knew it was gonna take a skip and then check, and in regulation we were able to fly it a little further past and let it come back to the flag. So unfortunate, but hey, that's what you're aiming for.
Exciting.
Yeah, you're aiming for the flag, and so we did what we were trying to do, and it's just a little unfortunate there. But
well, the viewers at home hear a lot of your caddy mic.
Okay, yeah.
And the words that you say to John, you know, you really put him in a good head frame.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I try to. Yes, I do. Always lead him with a positive thought. You know, hope that he you know, sees the shot, and you know, the main thing is being committed, not having any doubt. And listen, there's times where we're going to have a little doubt on shots. That's golf, but that's kind of my job. That's one thing that I try to do the most is really lead him with a positive thought, and that he's in a clear headspace to hit the shot he's trying to hit, which he did on 18. It just in the playoffs, unfortunate.
Well, the partnership is working well. Best of luck next week for the team championship in Michigan.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
Great job, Annabelle, and very happy for Jon Rahm. And here's a post. The single best day of golf this year was just played at LIV Indianapolis. What a statement. I totally agree, by the way. You know, one guy who had an incredible day today, Sebastian Muñoz, an unbelievable win over Jon Rahm in a very exciting playoff with a 6-under performance today, giving him a 22-under win above the rest of the competition. Can we just talk about it? Starting the week off with the 59, holding on and winning in a playoff against Jon Rahm on the individual championship week. I would have never expected that maybe to happen with Sebastian Muñoz, but good for him. What did you guys notice from his week?
I mean, it was definitely a big breakthrough for him. I mean, he's had a bunch of top 10s this year. He was in the final group a couple of times, didn't quite string together a good Sunday in those times, but today he hung tight, he stayed positive. I mean, it was a mental battle out there for a long time with DJ and then with Rambo, and to pull through and to hang in there and to do what he did was clutch.
He quietly had one of the most consistent seasons, other than Jon Rahm, in our league this entire year. Came in, I think, 7th on the points list. He ends up 4th. He couldn't catch Bryson DeChambeau for 3rd, but he ends up 4th, gets that first win. Now he's got 1 Korn Ferry win, 1 PGA Tour win, which I'm old enough to have actually been walking the course and covered when he won in Jackson, Mississippi, and 1 win on LIV. And again, it's winning's one thing. The guys you have to beat to win is another thing. And when he hit it out of bounds on 18 yesterday, I gave him a 0.0% chance of getting it done today.
Wow.
But the kid proved me wrong. He has some mettle.
And this has got to be pretty big for not only him, for Torque AGC as we head into the team championship next week. This gives them the best momentum possible, right?
Yeah, well, I think Legion 13 is definitely the team to beat, but I think it gives them a lot more confidence heading in because they all played pretty well this week.
And of course, for him next year, this has got to be the biggest confidence boost as he heads into the season next year as well, right?
100%. A win's always going to give you some confidence, that's for sure.
All right, now joining us on the Club 54 post-round show, it's Rachel Drummond, who's live on the putting green. Rachel, tossing over to you now.
I'm always behind you guys at the moment. I'm standing directly behind you again. Now, guys, how spectacular was that? And I want to do a little feature now about the unsung heroes. We always talk about the players. Sebastian and his caddy, Jose, we saw how important he was when he shot that 59 on the second round, and we saw how crucial he was, saying, you need to hit this fairway so we can have a chance to make the birdie. So that's my first unsung hero, Jose, Sebastian's caddy. And then, of course, we saw with Annabelle, we have to talk about Jon Rahm's caddy, Adam. So we saw the talk today of how much he helps motivate Jon. So we're going to watch that now in a feature and just see how he uses his language to get Jon in the zone.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Listen, the green salt, that might fly just a little bit past it. I like it because
I feel some hurt.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not like this.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the better shot.
Is anything faded up?
It will. No, I like the little more of a draw shape.
Just gonna wait for Bubba to hit it.
Yep. That's absolutely the right shot then.
I think that's gonna be somewhere closer to 75 today.
I agree.
And here it was, he got him in the zone and he set him up to a beautiful shot there. Now, one of the things we saw in the round that set him up to this final round was the fact that Adam set him a challenge of how many birdies can you make in the last few holes, and he made 4 out of 5. Today, that back nine, when he needed the most, he made an eagle. Then he made an unbelievable bogey. I think we saw it on the coverage earlier where he left it in the rough. And you can't imagine what Adam would have been saying to him, and then followed it up with 4 birdies. Now, I think this is one of the most beautiful pairings that we have in professional golf. I don't know whether you guys agree in the booth, but it's built on trust, resilience, saying the right thing. And it's amazing to see how much consistency they've had together this season, which I truly believe has led them to winning the individual championship.
Yeah, well, Jerry and I were just having a discussion before we came on camera about kind of how John can be a little bit volatile throughout his round. I mean, the 14th hole when he made that bogey was probably a good example. How important is Adam Hayes' role during that time, and coming in with words of affirmation, coming in to disrupt all the demons that could come through John's mind?
Definitely. I mean, we don't see that very often from Rahm, being in the rough and leaving it in the rough, and the fact that he made that putt when he needed to. We knew how many birdies he had to make, Suan, this, in this final round. That was what Adam said on the range before. It was all about making birdies and making putts. And I think especially in such a fine motor skill, if you've got a caddy that's going to keep you calm on these little touch and feel, and he went on to shoot a 60. So that relationship and the vocabulary is, and I think Adam must be a psychologist deep down, because I think that's what a lot of the players need week in, week out. And, they're going to celebrate this one together.
I need to book a session with him.
We all do.
In addition to that, he's a really good human being, Adam is. He's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very happy for him. Big congratulations to Adam, and of course, our individual champion, Jon Rahm, after such an exciting championship Sunday. Stay with us here on the Club 54 post-round show, and if you want to join the conversation, all you have to do is hashtag LIV Broadcast. As you can see, this man knows how to celebrate. That's one way to celebrate in Indy, with some milk. You know how they do at the Indy 500. Great job, Jon Rahm. Great job. And there's the beautiful Chatham Hills golf course. People are still celebrating as we speak. Jerry, just coming out of this competition, I see you smiling here. What were one of your favorite things? Actually, before I ask you this question, I believe we just got this in. Annabelle Angel is live right now. Let's toss it to her and see who she's with. Annabelle, to you.
Carlos, you've just come off the podium for your first team win since 2023. How proud are you of yourself and the team this week?
I'm actually relieved. Since I got on Torquay, we hadn't win. So it's awesome to get it done this last tournament before the team championship, and obviously really happy and proud of my teammate Sebastian Muñoz. He deserved that win. He's worked really hard. He's come close a couple times, so super happy.
You fought until the very end. It was exciting. But your performance also incredible, Carlos. 8 under yesterday, 8 under today. What was working well for you out there?
Honestly, everything. It's the first day I kind of had a slow start. Sebastian stole the thunder, but
stole all your birdies.
Yeah, but I'm happy to give them away because he deserved it. But other than that, honestly, I've been playing really good, and I'm just happy to finish the last tournament in a high note.
Well, you guys were runner-up twice. Now you've got the win. Heading into next week, the team championship with some serious momentum. Is Team Torquay going to get it done? I
think. I mean, we're going the right way, so it's the right time too. So I think we have a good chance.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and well done this week.
Thank you.
And a big congratulations to Torquay GC getting the job done for the team competition. We're going to talk more about the team competition next week, right now, with Jerry Fultz and a special guest. And joining us, LIV Golf journalist Matt Vincenzi. Thank you for joining the show as always. What an exciting day. Did you have a good time today?
Oh, I heard you say it was one of the best days of golf of the year, and I completely agree. There was just so much drama from top to the bottom of the leaderboard. Torquay, 64 under. I think that's the lowest ever in LIV Golf history.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's even a glossed over story because there's just so many storylines this week.
Right, and not only the storylines from this week, but we have a big week ahead of us next week for the team championship. We can take a look at the bracket now as things have developed at the end of this day. It's going to be really exciting to see how things pan out next week. Matt, would love to hear your opinion of it. First, let's take a look at how things have shaped up finishing the final round. Legion 13 at the top of the list, of course. Crushers GC in second and Fireballs in third. Now, we're doing things a little bit differently this year. Is that correct, Jerry?
Yes. On Wednesday, there is a play-in match, so to speak, between the Ironheads and Majestics, who faltered late as a team and found themselves on Wednesday in a play-in match. Whoever wins that moves on to the 12-team championship round. Who's ever out is out. And then the top seed gets to pick who they want to play. It could be the second seed. It's not going to be. It's going to be the guys who win the play-in match. And then it gets even better. Then, after you have chosen who you want to play, after those pairings are all done, the lower seed has to put forth their lineup, their two singles and the alternate shot, the foursomes seed. And then the higher seed gets to pair who they want against them. Matt and I can tell you who a number of the teams are going to pick in terms of their singles players right already. That's pretty easy on a lot of the teams, but it's going to be extremely interesting to see which teams they pick. But they have to pick those teams before they know the lineup they're putting out. It's going to be, it's some fun press conferences. He's in the press room. He knows, they're fun.
Well, I can't wait for that. It's going to add so much drama to the event. It's almost like the President's Cup where there's more strategy involved. And I think the more strategy we get in team match play, the better. Because I think team match play is one of the most underutilized formats in golf. And I think it's the most exciting form in golf. I'm excited for the Ironheads Majestics match on Wednesday. That's going to be great itself.
I think what's going to be so interesting to me anyways are a team like Majestics, who just had to unfortunately say goodbye to Henrik Stenson, and then now they have to turn things over 2 days later to play on Wednesday, figure out who's playing foursome, who plays singles. Same for Torquay, eventually on Friday having to pick who's going to play who, and Mito unfortunately also had to say goodbye to him. So it's that dynamic is going to be probably, to me, the most interesting. And look, I think there are going to be some surprises with the picks. It wouldn't surprise me if someone just goes left field. Someone you would think who would play singles don't play singles. It happened the last couple of years. I don't expect any different this year.
I think a great point there is the relegated players should probably play in the team match because, you know, earlier in the week, Mito was talking in the press conference about how having teammates in these situations helps when things are kind of going poorly. So having a teammate there to alternate shot with and bring him up and bring his spirits up and also give him someone to play for, I think would be really helpful in that scenario.
And I would have bet Torquay would have put, obviously, Mito in the foursomes match, but I think they would have paired him with Sebastian Muñoz. I think today might just change that. But it's hard to take Carlos Ortiz in the way he's playing out of a singles match. They got a tough decision to make. Other teams, it's a little more straightforward.
What about the lower seeded teams who don't get to decide who they're playing against and they have to reveal their lineup? What strategy does a team like High Flyers, for example, what strategy do they take?
I think they just take, we have something to prove.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Ironheads did last year. Let's not forget what they did in Dallas last year. We can't count them out. We just can't count them out. You just never know what they're going to bring when it comes to match play. Like you said, Matt, you know, it's such a different format. It's completely a different style of play. So I don't know if you can count anybody out at this point.
No, absolutely not. And I also think a team like, you know, towards the bottom who gets picked, that puts a lot of pressure on the team that's doing the picking because they can easily make it look like, hey, you picked the wrong team, and then they can get an us versus them mentality, and all of a sudden match play, that's a game changer.
Yeah, there's some bulletin board material going to be happening next week for sure.
What about the rivalry between Ripper GC and Stinger GC? They're both, I believe, have the same exact points right now, and there are likely odds that they will play each other in this round. I feel like these two teams are pretty much matched up very well.
Fun.
That might be one of the most exciting or entertaining matchups.
Unless Bryson does what he did 2 years ago and pull a surprise and pick a much higher ranked team than we thought he was going to. Other than that, yeah, nobody's going to try and pick those guys.
Let's imagine the match, though. What would that look? Well, let's talk about it. What would that look like between the two teams? If you're Ripper GC, you choose Stinger. How does that go? How do you think that works?
Just press rewind to Australia when we have that playoff. That's exactly what it's going to be like, especially now that we are going to South Africa next year. I'm telling you, the Stinger guys, for whatever reason, ever since we made that announcement, they have shown up towards the end of the season, and I think they have something to prove, and I'm pretty sure they want to get one back with the Rippers.
Well, we saw in the playoff last week where Louis picked Grace and Charles to play in that match. So I think he has a lot of confidence in those guys right now. I wouldn't be shocked to see him pick Brandon Grace to play against Cam Smith or put him out there first, although they might not get the chance to pick. But I think Louis has a lot of confidence in his teammates, even more so than himself right now.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot, Matt, because I know you do a lot of analysis. Pick the top 3 that are going to get through to the medal play final round.
I think Torquay obviously looks great, and I think the whole team aspect with Mito is going to really bring him up. And you get 3 players who finish in the top 8 in the standings in the league. So clearly they're incredibly top heavy, and they have a guy in Mito who's very close, good friends with all the players on the team. So I think that elevates his game as well. 4 aces are playing great. DJ's playing great. Peters, both those guys in the final group today. So, I mean, they're obviously in great form. A lot's going to depend on the course. I do think it's going to be a shorter course where, you know, we might see some players who aren't long off the tee in play. So that could bring, I think, Ripper a little bit if they can club down and get Cam using his short game.
Ironheads.
Yeah. I'd love to see the Ironheads. That'd be great. I mean, it would be awesome. So, yeah, I think aces, Torquay, and, you know, I think Legion obviously is very likely to get through.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Matt. We always appreciate you coming through to the show, and we'll see you next week. Pound it out for me, brother.
All
right. Stay with us.
Pound it out for me, buddy.
There was
That could be the line of the year.
There you have it. Actually, stay with us for this funny moment, Matt. This moment happened today with Terrell Hatton of Legion 13. The players were not able to select their own walkout songs at the party hall. In fact, their teammates were able to choose the song this time around, and this is what happened. Pretty interesting song selection from Terrell's teammates of Legion 13.
Even got a smile out of him there, huh?
That's better than what was Kayla's yesterday? Barbie Girl?
Yeah, Barbie Girl. Yeah.
He couldn't even hit.
Pretty amazing moment here at LIV Golf, and Terrell being a great sport. You love to see him smiling like that, right?
By the way, Caleb Surratt yesterday was great, but today he got "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears, which is pretty funny too.
And Terrell proceeds to do what he does best. But what a great moment there. Now, before we sign out of here, guys, I always ask you at the end of the show, Jerry, Matt, you can jump into, Sue, of course, final thoughts as we conclude Championship Sunday here at LIV Golf Indianapolis as we head to the team championship next week. Matt, what you got for us, baby?
Final thoughts for me, and I don't think he's going to be considered as a pick, but if I'm going to Bethpage Black, I'm bringing Dustin Johnson, and I don't care what happened this season. You want the team that's going to give you the best chance to win, and you cannot tell me that Dustin Johnson at Bethpage, the last time he was at a Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits, he went 5-0, and he's in form right now. We saw what he's doing with his wedges today. Don't tell me that's not going to help you beat Europe in the Ryder Cup. It is.
I think you speak for a lot of people. For me, the final thought is, I hate the reality of relegation. That is the reality of professional sports. I hate not being able to see the guys that got relegated, especially my close friend Anthony Kim.
Well said, Jerry.
Yeah, I think same. You know, as the same with Jerry. I followed Henrik all day, and as I said at the top of the show, you can feel the tension the entire way, and he had it really till the last 2-3 holes where Poulter just went nuts on him and just birdied 4 of his last 5, which is clutch of Ian. But that is I think the most difficult part of this league is having not only not make it, but you have your teammate have to do what he had to do for his own career, and then you lose yours. I think that's the difficult part of out here of LIV Golf. So I don't know, man. I feel heartbroken, but it is unfortunately part of the gig.
Well, before we get out of here, for fun, I know I always do this. Jerry, you never answer it, but predictions for next week. Quickly, who are you guys going with? What team takes it?
Legion 13. They're top 2 in the match play, and Rahm and of course Terrell. That's the strongest top 2, and all you need is those 2 points. Now when it gets to stroke play, it's a whole different game.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna go to Torquay, 100% Torquay.
I love it,
Matt.
I'm going with Torquay as well.
Yes.
I think at Legion, I know you need the 2 points, but you get 2 inexperienced guys in match play. I think we could see Torquay kind of build off this win, their first win in 2 years, and you got the individual. And I think Neiman's going to be a little hungry going into next week. I like Torquay.
Well, thank you guys so much, and for all of you viewing, thank you guys so much for watching the Club 54 post-round show. We'll see you guys in Michigan for the team championship. Until then, I only got one more thing to say to you guys.
No, don't.
Come on, Jerry.
No.
Peace.
No.
Peace.
Come on, Matt.